Hi, my name is Tracy Clegg. I'm a statistician with the Central Statistics Office. This presentation gives an overview of statistics from Profile 7. The topics covered in this presentation are economic status, employment, working from home and unemployment. The first section I will look at is economic status. In April 2022, there were 2.3 million people in work. The proportion in work has steadily risen from 43% in 1986 to 56% in 2022. The proportion of the population that are retired has risen from 8% in 1986 to 16% in 2022, and the number now stands at 658,000. The percentage of the population who look after the home or the family has been steadily declining, falling from 26% in 1986 to 7% in 2022. The number of people unable to work due to a permanent illness or disability rose by 20% since 2016 to 189,000 people. Since 1986, the percentage unable to work due to illness rose slightly from 3% to 5% in 2022. Female retirees have been increasing at a faster pace compared to males, with an increase of 27% since 2016, compared to 15% among males. For the first time, female retirees now outnumber males, with over 342,000 females and 316,000 males. In 2022, of all the people looking after the family or home, 90% were female, and of these, nearly 90% were aged 35 and over. However, the proportion of females that look after the family or home has fallen from 51% in 1986 to 12% in 2022. The next topic I will cover looks at the people in employment. The chart shows the number employed by industrial sectors in 2022. The largest industries were public administration, which includes the civil service and the HSE, among others, with 107,000 workers, followed by residential care and social work activities, with just under 104,000 workers, and hospital activities with 91,000 workers. This chart shows a change in the number of workers between 2016 and 2022. The industrial sector with the largest increase was other human health activities, which includes the ambulance service, vaccine clinics and other therapeutic services. This increased by over 37,000 workers. This was followed by IT activities, which increased by 31,000, and public administration, which grew by over 23,000. The largest declines were in farming, with a reduction of 8,000 workers, and wholesale of food and retail and beverages, which fell by nearly 7,000 workers. In 2022, all counties saw an increase in the number of workers since 2016. However, there was a wide variation in the size of the increase. Longford saw the biggest increase in workers at 30% to nearly 20,000, followed by Carlow and Meath, which both had a 22% increase. Kerry had the smallest increase in workers at only 10%. A new question on whether a person's employment was full-time or part-time was included in the census for the first time. 14% of workers stated that they worked part-time. This was high for female workers at 23% compared to only 7% of males working part-time. The occupations with the largest proportion of part-time workers were secretarial and related at 39%, which includes occupations such as school secretaries, legal secretaries, receptionists and data entry clerks, followed by leisure, travel and personal services, which includes travel agents, sports assistants, hairdressers and beauticians, with 37% working part-time. The occupations with the lowest proportion of part-time workers were science, research, engineering and technology, with only 3% working part-time. For the first time in 2022, people were asked whether they ever worked from home, and if they did, then for how many days. This next section will present the main findings on people working from home. The pie chart on the left shows that nearly 1 in 3 workers stated that they worked from home at least one day a week in April 2022, which was nearly 750,000 people. However, 57% never worked from home. The pie chart on the right shows the people that work from home by the number of days they work from home. Nearly a third of them worked 1 or 2 days from home, 26% worked 3 or 4 days at home, and a third worked 5 or more days at home. The counties with the highest proportion of workers who work from home at least 1 day a week were all close to Dublin, the highest being Dunleary Rathdown with 57% of workers, followed by Dublin City at 40%, Fingal at 38% and Wicklow at 37%. The counties with the lowest proportion working from home were Monaghan and Longford, with both at 21%. The towns with the highest proportion working from home, at least one day a week, were Malahide and Portmarnock in Dublin, both with 57% of workers. Other towns with at least half of the resident workers working from home were Greystones Delgany and Enniskerry in Wicklow and Donabate in Dublin. Whether a person is unemployed or not is based on the self-declared economic status of people completing the census form. Therefore, the census unemployment rate is higher than that from other CSO sources, such as the Labour Force Survey. In 2022, the census unemployment rate was 8%, falling from 19% in 2011 and 13% in 2016. For the first time, a new category was added to the question on principal economic status to distinguish people who are in short-term unemployment for less than 12 months or long-term unemployment for 12 months or more. The long-term unemployment rate was 4%, the short-term rate was 3%, and a further 1% were seeking their first job. The age group with the highest unemployment rate in 2022 was among the 15 to 24-year-olds at 16%. Among the population aged under 65, the lowest unemployment rate was in the 45 to 54-year-old age group at 7%. The unemployment rate fell in every age category, with the largest fall seen among the 15 to 24-year-olds, which fell from 39% in 2011 to 16% in 2022. The town with the highest unemployment rate in April 2022 was Ballahadreen in Roscommon at 24%, followed by Lifford in Donegal at 22%, and Kilrush in Clare at 20%. The towns with the highest long-term unemployment rates were Lifford at 12%, followed by Belturbet in Cavan and Ballahadreen, both at 11%. I will now finish up with the infographic for this publication. More detailed information from this publication, including visualisations, text, interactive maps and charts, can be found on the CSO website, cso.ie. The next results from the census will be on Irish language and education and will be published on the 19th of December. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation.